All right, so we're several hours into it, and I realized one of the reasons we're so busy right now is that the 12 hours started a couple hours ago. And so it's a whole different crew there. There was a French team that was just starting out, and I was talking to him a minute, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can tell you still have hope in your eyes. And he says, it won't last through the afternoon. So also as a comment with the French guy, we have a really noticeable international contingent here. The team parked next to us is from the UK. There's been various different French and other languages being spoken, and kind of nice to see these athletes coming around the world to this great event. So Lucia and John are waiting for Jim to come in to do a trade-off. We just have timers that we keep, and we monitor how long he's been out. Should be coming in the next couple of minutes, and it's always kind of exciting to wait. So there's all the different teams kind of doing the same thing. It's kind of a busy group. The sun came up, and everybody got back to it.
So support means that you kind of solve all the problems, act like a mom, and today for me, my good deed is realizing the porta potties are running out of toilet paper. Went to the store, get that taken care of. That's what real support is about. So one of the things about doing a relay is you got to schedule and plan and know when to hand off, because we're doing, it's anywhere from 48 minutes to a minute 5, depending on what happens. So we just had an interesting experience waiting for Maria. Yeah, so I get to be on film documenting our crew failure. So we went out to meet Maria based on her previous lap time. She'd been struggling with some nausea, which is not atypical for her. So we went out at about 55 minutes for the 18-mile lap and just waited and waited and waited and grew more and more concerned that something had happened out there, either a mechanical or a deterioration of how she was feeling. And then one of the other crew people came up to us and was like, oh no, the other person on a bike like that, she went through here 30 minutes ago. You guys weren't here. So she said, tell them I'm taking another lap. So that was great news. And she's now been out there. So hopefully we'll see her again soon and get her side of the story.
You got to help me.
All right, John. So you were having a little bit of a sleep moment in the night, riding under the influence. Tell us a little bit about how that felt.
I came in and I left the pit just in the world of hurt. I could hardly keep the bike straight. I'm just weaving back and forth across the road and doing my best to keep going. And I made it up about 3 miles into the course, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And then suddenly I looked around and nothing looked familiar. The road was a completely different road. The surroundings were completely different, and I had no idea where I was. There were no lights visible anywhere, no other riders, no houses, and you couldn't see the city, just nothing. And I was to the point of having to look for the Big Dipper to try to see which way I was facing. I had no idea how I'd gotten there. Somehow I'd fallen asleep on my bike and just kept riding. If I'd kept riding down the course, that would have been great. I could have slept all night. But I'd missed a turn and just headed off into oblivion.
But that was just enough to get you refreshed.
Yeah, and then after that, I felt great. Once I figured out how to get back on the course and back in, felt like $1 million. Best nap of the day.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.